Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah, we welcome brother David, who has taken shahada in the month of March. Alhamdulillah. May. So about only 1 or 2 months, subhanallah. So what makes you choose Islam? How long have you been studying about Islam before you took shahada?
About like 6 months.
Oh, that's not long.
But like when I first came to the UK,
yes,
I'm surrounded with a lot of friends that are Christian.
Yes.
And I also went to their church activities every week. Like,
okay.
Not the church service, but they have a lot of activities during the week.
Yes.
And then and most of the time in most of their activities they will talk about the Bible. They will try to kind of like ask you to
become a Christian. What were you before? What did you believe before?
I was an atheist before.
Okay.
but wow. when I moved to Sweden, I started to think there is a God.
That when was that? What, a few years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay. So that begins from there, your journey, I suppose, right?
And then I started to look at different religions, see which makes sense to me. And then moved to the UK, and then like it's easy to go to Christianity or church.
Yeah.
Here in the UK. So many of my friends they are Christian. But after 2 years, I listened to their talk, to them talk about the Bible, talk about Jesus. But I still have
doubts.
And they couldn't answer me, and I somehow feel that they are just like they don't understand, but they kind of believe it blindly because it's their culture. It is what they do when they were born. So, and then I started to look at more information online, just by myself. And usually, if you search on YouTube, then you will easily find many Christianity and Islam debate. and that's where I know about Islam. And
did you go to Hyde Park for the Speaker's Corner? No, okay, don't go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then I watch a lot of videos and I read books about Islam, and then I find that and then I've met a Muslim person, and she told me a lot of things about Islam as well. Then finally I think like I can't find any argument against this
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Islamic idea.
Alhamdulillah.
So the only way it can be is that it's true.
Move forward. Yeah. So, but what is the thing that attracts you to Islam? What is the main? If I ask you, name a single factor that this is it. What is the thing that attracts you to Islam? Is it how organized it is? Is it the Quran? What is it that you think that yes, this is the one?
I would say, it is the Quran. Yeah. Like after I read the Quran, I think it is very like you can just use very simple, very common sense to look at it, and it's very clear, very simple.
Yes.
There's no confusion. It gives you a lot of answers about many things in your life. So that and clearly, like I read it in English translation, and I would think that like I can imagine that like not a human being can write something like this.
Alhamdulillah.
So
that convinces you. Alhamdulillah.
That's what convinced me about.
May Allah continue to guide you to the right path. I would advise you, first of all, you do need to find somebody who helps you. You're always welcome to come to our class. Right, we are here on Thursdays and Saturdays, and we're going to help you more towards your prayer. right? Make sure you understand it properly, because sometimes the YouTubes are quite misleading.
I know. Yeah. You have to watch a lot of things. And
Yes.
decide
Yes.
which one.
Yes.
Make a YouTube video.
Yeah. And not only that, your pronunciation you think is correct, but actually it's not. Right? Only the person who knows will correct you. And it's quite important to have this too. We can help you, inshallah, right? So don't worry. You saw our website and all this, right? It's a website. Yeah. So all the talks are there. So don't worry, inshallah, right? So always remember, David and everybody here, Allah guides whom He wills. So that means it is through Allah's guidance that all of us are here, not in Hyde Park, not in not in any places, right? But in here, right? It is. I was quite surprised you came, alhamdulillah, because you say you're busy these 2 weeks, right? And alhamdulillah, that you came. It's all through Allah's guidance. And remember the hadith: if a person goes to the mosque to seek knowledge or to teach, what is the reward? Hajj. That means forgiveness of sins, inshallah. And it's quite important to understand. So every effort that we make, inshallah, we have to, it's part of our preparation for the hereafter. That all of us on the day of judgment will have to present to Allah the good things that we have done. Yeah, that's what Allah said in Surah number 18, verse number 110. فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا. Whoever hopes for the meeting with his Lord, let him work righteousness. You strive to do good deeds and associate none as a worship with his Lord. That means do not commit shirk. As simple as that. Two things sounds very easy, straightforward, but actually, as you know, all of us are striving hard, right? So that's why when we're in a group like us, inshallah, we're helping each other, right? To understand the truth. Bob and me always communicate about the hadith, the Quran, right? Whether it's true or not, and we communicate. And it's quite important to find good friends whom you can associate with, and because that's how you become better, inshallah. Yeah, but you need to choose wisely, not the one in modern. Right? Right? So very important, because
they are still asking me to go to the.
Because David, the main issue is this, which makes them not a Muslim, that they believe that there is another prophet after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which them they call it Ghulam Ahmad, right? When Allah said in the Quran, Surah number 33, verse number 40, Allah, as Prophet Muhammad is Khataman Nabiyyin, He's a seal of the prophets. Seal means seals, finished. Yeah. So, for example, in we know, right? We discussed many times in this class that Islam was completed when Allah said in Surah number. Need to come off that, is it true? 5 verse number 3. Right? Al yauma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaikum ni'mati wa raditu lakumul Islam madina, which means this day I have perfected your religion for you. I've completed my favors upon you, and I've made Islam. I've chose Islam as your way of life. No, when we read this clearly, we must understand when Allah said complete means complete, right? There's no two way about it. Complete means there's nothing new which need to be added to our acts of worship. So that means it must has been done, the acts of worship, by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the companions and the tabi'in, the followers of the companions. If not, then we shouldn't implement what was being done. Again, many cultures, his culture, same culture, his culture, right? A lot. So a lot of people practice the culture, David, more than the religion, and this is wrong, right? Islam is this, we are this, we need to climb up, not Islam to be diluted back to the ignorant ways. Yeah. So it is important. That's why today's topic is about what invalidates the prayer. All of us must understand that the prayer is built with the first question on the day of judgment. The first thing. He's not going to ask about whether have you been to Palestine. No. Allah's going to ask about have you been good to your wife. No. It's all about the salah first. Right? We understood from hadith, that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this is from Abu Hurairah, right? From Tirmidhi, authenticated by Al-Shaykh Al-Bani. Abu Hurairah reported Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the first action for which a servant of Allah will be held accountable on the day of the resurrection will be his prayers. If they are in order, that means if they are good, right? He will have prospered and succeeded. That means everything else will be okay, inshallah. That means in Jannah. If they are lacking, then he will have failed and lost. That means perhaps hellfire. It's about all about the prayer. Yeah.
So, you know when you say lacking, then how much sure?
Now, everything you miss the prayers, or you do not know is invalid or not. Yeah. And this is very important. The things that we do, it must be on the day of judgment, they're present to be presented to Allah. There's no point to do something in which it's lost because nothing else must have happened. We did all this, but it's not accepted. Now, this is very important topic that we must understand as we are doing at least 5 times a day prayer, that it must be valid and accepted by Allah. Right? So let's discuss in detail. Okay, but before that, of course, that's why we need to seek knowledge. We must correct ourselves if we find that our methods of prayer is wrong. Do you agree? Even for me, I raised up my hand. The first thing that I did many years ago, at least 20 years ago, to correct myself, the first thing I did, besides Tawheed, it is to look at the prayer book. Where have I gone wrong? And this is very important, not just gone wrong, where have I not understood? What does the Al-Fatiha means? What does Alhamdulillah means? Everything we must know the meaning. But it's very important because the prayer is a form of communication to Allah. But even when we say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, what is Allah's answer? My servant has praised me. When we say Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, my servant has glorified me. When we say Malik Yawmiddin, Allah will answer to us, David. My servant has exalted me. When we say Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Allah will answer, this between me and my servant shall have what I ask for. When we say Ihdinas siratal mustaqim, again, same thing. This between me and my servant shall have what I ask for. So literally, it's a conversation. Secondly, the prayer, Allah promised us, Inna salata tanha anil fahshay wal munkar. Surah number 29, verse number 45. The prayer will serve to prevent immoralities. What's happening in Hyde Park today, right? And it's called fahisha. Fahisha means everything to do with, all the zina and all these illegal immoralities and all this. And munkar means everything that Allah has forbidden us to do. The prayer will prevent this. But this is Allah's promise. So you and I know, right? Back in your country, for example, right? People claim that they have prayed, but actually they are going to another place, the shrines, to worship the shrines. Agree?
So I think what they do is they sort of ask for intercession from the
but it is under what called munkar, right? It's not one of those. It's the worst munkar, because we say in our prayer, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Only to you we worship, and only to you we seek help. And yet you go to the shrines to seek help. Completely opposite what you are telling Allah. You say in your prayer, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise goes to Allah. Who is Allah? The creator, maintainer, sustainer, provider, protecting of all of us. And yet you ask them for protection. It defeats all the purpose of our salah. That's why when we don't understand the salah, it leads to this. That means if we claim that we pray 5 times a day and we stick with this, go to the shrines and pray, that means the prayer may not be accepted. Agree? And
if you do stuff in your life and you say, oh, nothing's ever getting better, because you haven't established the prayer correctly.
Yes, as simple as that.
So how do you know your prayer is accepted?
We're going to talk about it later, inshallah. Remind me to answer this, right, at the end, inshallah. Right? Because it's a huge topic, another huge topic. How do you know our prayer is accepted? Again, one of the things, as I said, is not Allah promised us what? Prevention of immoralities and disobedience to Allah. And then after prayer, I still have my girlfriend with me, for example. Doesn't make sense, right? That means the prayer is not accepted, because you say to Allah, Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Guide us to the straight way. Not just that, added on siratal ladina an'amta alayhim, which is the straight way, the way of those whom you have bestowed your favors. What is people? No. Who did Allah bestow his favors? Sorry? What? No. We ask Allah, right? Guide us the straight way, the way of those whom you have bestowed your favors. Who did also bestow favors? Yeah, which surah is this? Surah number 4, verse 69. Right? minan nabiyyin, the prophets, wasiddiqin, the truthful ones, washuhada, the martyrs, and wasalihin, the righteous ones. The best people, because for example, if you want to know about football, who is the best football player? Ronaldo, Messi, right? You want to know from the best. You don't want to know from what Division One player in Leighton or Leighton, whatever this you have in your area, right? In Modern, whatever it is, right? You don't want to know from the small people, but from big players. That I want to be the best. Same thing as us. We want the guidance to be like these best people. Who is the first one? The prophets. How do you know about the prophets? The Quran is there, right? One third of the Quran about prophets. Then you learn from how they do things, right? Nuh alayhi salam, for example. What did Allah order him to do? Build an ark. A very ridiculous order from Allah because there's no sea, there's no river, nothing at all. But he still built the ark. Because then you must understand, even though we don't understand, perhaps, why should I not eat pig, pork, right? It doesn't matter because Allah commanded us to do. So Nuh followed and obeyed Allah's orders, even though he didn't understand why he need to do so, correct? And this is very important to learn from these prophets. Yusuf alayhi salam, right? He was tested so much. He was thrown in the well, and then he was sold into slavery, then he was seduced, then he didn't want to be seduced, he went to prison, right, for many years. In the end, when he was released from prison, because of all his patience, he was raised up to the level of Minister of Finance when all his family members are still poor, right? Because you're patient, you get this. So many things that can be learned from the prophets. Ayub alayhi salam, the one who was, Allah took away his wealth, his family, all died, and then his health were almost nothing gone except the tongue and the heart. Again, he was still patient to Allah. Even in fact, he threatened to beat his wife, right? Because the wife asked a very important question. Aren't you going to ask Allah to help you? What did he answer to the wife?
He said, Allah gave us good for 70 years and only watched for 7.
Yes.
And then he was like,
because the wife will come, no, you're married, you know what wives about, right? Next sometimes, right? Not married, you don't understand, you will know later. You know in 1 month time, you know in next year, right? Getting married soon, inshallah, Allah grant your blessings, your weddings, right? Then you will know, right? Once you're nagging, you're quite tired, so you've got nothing to, hand cannot move, just and you're still being nag, right? Welcome, salam, right? The Yaman is latest, of course, accepted. And you're still, and he's so fed up. And then, as you said, the answer, right? Allah gave us so long periods of blessings, 70 years. And only 7 years, Allah has tested us with all this loss of wealth, life, and everything. The children died and all this. As he was so fed up, and eventually he said, I swear by Allah, if I have a stick, I'll beat you up. Right? And this is, again, it all shows the patience of Ayub alayhi salam. Right? So everything that we learn is from the best, which is the prophets. Then second group of people whom Allah bestows favors, the truthful ones. Why truthful ones is so important? Because everything about the Quran, they just believe and just follow. No questions.
So, do you want to just finish the story off about the wife?
No.
Basically, he didn't end up beating her.
Sorry?
No, you want to tell him that he didn't actually end up beating.
No. Yeah. So there's no beating. Yeah, there's no beating.
No,
sorry. There was beating, but because when you swear by Allah, you must do it. So he just took 100 tiny grass and just very lightly. So there's no beating. Yeah, no beating like another word. Huh? So very minor because you swear by Allah. It's just a slight touch. Yeah. Now, so second one, the criteria of the truthful ones. That means they believe Abu Bakr is called as-Siddiq because when Prophet Muhammad informed him that he traveled all the way to the sky, come back to Palestine, and then come back in one night, he still believes because he's a prophet. So that's why when the Prophet asks us to do this, don't ask, it's just a sunnah. Just try to do our best, inshallah. Right? Thirdly, the martyrs. Of course, the martyrs will be one of the most highly esteemed people in the eyes of Allah because they sacrifice at this moment, right? None of us want to die, right? Because we want to live a life, especially you're getting married. Alhamdulillah, right? Getting married next year, soon, right? Second wife. No, she doesn't know you. I'm talking about you. So again, so this is something in which the martyrs are highly esteemed, yeah, because they sacrificed for the sake of Allah. They died voluntarily, right? What did Allah say about being a martyr? Because people do not like to die, of course. And then Allah said in Surah number 2, verse 216, وَعَسَى أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَى أَن تُحِبُّوا شَيْئًا وَلَا شَرٌ لَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Perhaps the thing that you dislike is good for you. The thing that you like is hateful for you. Allah knows, but you do not know. And there was specifically about being a martyr. Of course, people hate to die. Yeah, but because they sacrifice their life for the sake of Allah, they have a lot of things in store for them in Jannah. Right?
So, you're supposed to bury them as they are.
Yeah, so in martyrdom, when they die, they were so in a purified state, you don't need to do the janazah prayer, don't need to do the ghusl for them. They are already buried as they are. You can see some examples in the time of flooding in Medina. They tried to save them because to preserve them, and they can still see the blood in the body being preserved, and the body would not decompose. And the best part, the soul now today will be entering Jannah in form of green bird. They will eat from the fruits of Jannah. Yes. Okay.
Can a person be a martyr from a conventional kind of disease like stomach?
Yeah, that's why for me, before I die, I will always make Ya Allah, make me die as a shuhada, because with the intention that you do not die because shuhada, you get the reward of shuhada. Right? Again, shuhada is not just holy war, right? Yes. Yes. Yeah. So there are things that you die as a martyr, for example, as you said, intestinal diseases, and you're hit by an earthquake, right? The buildings where you die as a martyr, when you fire, drowning, right?
If you're quarantined in the
Yeah. If you have a COVID-19, perhaps, right? And you're quarantined, and yes, one of the signs of a martyr, not disbeliever, of course, is a believer. Right? Now, and then last part, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. So Allah have want us, or we want Allah to judge us according to the best, but not the path as your anger, which is the path of the Jewish or the children of Israel, not the path that you have led astray, which is the Christians. Completely covered, right? Our guidance, and yet, as I said, your people, right, go to the the shrines to pray. It doesn't have that means your prayers won't be accepted, of course, because you ask for guidance. What did Allah say? وَالَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا زَادَهُمْ هُدًى وَآتَاهُمْ تَقْوَاهُم. Surah number 47, number 17. Those who are asking Allah for guidance, He increase the guidance, and He will grant them to be God conscious, taqwa. David, do you know what taqwa is? Very important word that we must understand. It means be God conscious, right? To be God conscious that, oh, perhaps Allah doesn't like me to do this. Perhaps if I were to take this job, which may not be halal, Allah doesn't like this, so I do not take this job, right? Perhaps the prayer time is coming, I'm still in Oxford Street, then I need to rush, make sure I pray on time, I do not miss the prayer. This is called God conscious or taqwa. Very important word, yes. Yeah. Now, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oh, assalamualaikum. Come in, please.
But he won't be staying here for long.
Okay, sure. Yes, of course.
Are you staying about 20 minutes after?
Sure. You're welcome. Come, please stay.
All right, thank you. All right, see you.
Assalamualaikum. Okay, so we were just talking about the prayer, right? Why is it so important? What are we supposed to establish in the prayer, which is guidance? That means if somebody claimed that they are praying and yet they are still doing the major sins, not like minor sins, major sins like gambling, alcohol, and all this, perhaps the prayer may not be accepted. Agree? Doesn't make sense, right? Corruptions in some countries, right? Caught, no caught?
The thing that makes you high.
Yes. Right? That makes you high, which is a part of the culture of people. Always remember, brothers, Islam is Islam. We are supposed to completely submit ourselves to Allah. And this is very important. Despite whatever culture you have, Islam is higher than our culture. We need to adjust the culture according to Islam, not adjust Islam according to our culture. Right? So, for example, right? Won't mention names. I hope he is not listening. Right? When I attended a wedding in Malaysia, I just narrow it down already. Yeah? So I was asking a person, right? Aren't you going to pray because it's Asar time, right? And I said, no, because I put my makeup on already. So I was not supposed to take out my makeup.
For the group.
Or whatever it is, right? So, yeah, the group. So, subhanAllah, you were about to start the wedding, supposed to be on a good note, and yet you are not applying what you're supposed to do, which is salah, which is, what did Allah say about salah? Inna salata kanas alal mu'minina kitaba mawquta. Surah number 4, verse number 103. Right, that the salah, the prayer, has been prescribed or enjoined on the believers at fixed hours. The fixed hours have been stated. It's not up to your hour, my hour, his hour. Is the hour has been prescribed. Yeah. So don't be like some cultures, Indonesians, of course, right? They believe that, for example, David was looking at him in a suspicious way. Now, the Indonesians and Malaysians believe, right? If you don't pray, it's okay. You can pray at the end of the Isha prayer, which is wrong. Because Allah says in another verse, in Surah number 2, verse number 2, 3, 8, yeah. Hafidhu ala salawati was salatil wusta. Guard strictly your prayer, especially the middle prayer, the Asar prayer. Guard strictly. Right? And it's very important that we understand about the salah. Right? So don't follow the culture, don't follow the majority if the majority is in wrong. Yeah, Islam always talked about the majority. If in Surah number 6, 116, Allah said, if you follow the majority, they're only doing the assumptions, and they do nothing but lie. So in actual, if you obey most of those on the earth, they will only following assumptions or guessing, and they do nothing but lie. Is it true? Right? Like the things that people are doing in my culture, for example, let's talk about my side, right? About death. Somebody died with Al-Fatiha, and then that Yasin, and then go to the grave, then put on the grave this marbles, spending 10,000 pounds on the marbles. All these are following the disbelievers. 100%. Nothing at all has been established. Not after 40 days, another Yasin, another recitation of the Quran, food. All this has not been established by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Remember, we talked just now, Surah number 5, verse number 3. Islam was complete. It's not up to you and me to come up with new things. So Islam is very strict, as it should be. That's why you have, for example, in the Christian faith, right, that people start to invent new things. The Old Testament and the Injil always said about oneness of God. Agree? Sometime or other, after that, come up with Isa, son of God. And then now you have the LGBT priests and bishops, female bishops, right? Yeah. So a lot of things are being invented. That's why we are supposed to stick to what we are supposed to be taught, right? Islam will never change. The laws of Allah will never change, as Allah said in Surah number 17, verse number 77. What did Allah say? Sunnata man qad arasna qablaka min rusulina wa la tajidu li sunnatina tahwila. The second part, You will not find any amendments in Allah's law. Never. It's true, right? Doesn't mean that long time ago, what do you call it? When in time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the males are always leading the prayer. Don't tell me now the females can lead the prayer. No, it will always be the same. Regardless of this feminist movement and the world order, Islam, as Allah has created all of us, Allah knows how to make all of us worship Him in the best of manners. It's not up to us to come up with new things to worship Him. Yeah?
I can't understand this part in the US. You know, you must have seen those videos in the US, right, where men and women are kind of praying together.
Yeah.
You see it, like,
Yeah.
women. Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, not only that, the women's dressings are not covered properly. And then she said, right?
In Arabic and English.
Yeah, she said, Alhamdulillah, all praise and thanks go to Allah, the Lord of whatever it is. And then even her pronounced not properly. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most gracious, the most merciful. That's not how it's supposed to be. Islam will never change.
I don't know if you saw it. There was a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
What?
It's a Muslim country, 90% Muslim. The bandit jumped.
Kyrgyzstan, yeah. Your neighbor, not far from you. Yeah, but that was how Turkish was, right? In Turkey, right? Turkey, right? Under Atatürk. After the fall of the caliphate, how when he took over everything, the language was changed from the Quran to Turkish language. Everything changed, right? But inshallah, we'll come back again. How we are supposed to be together in one unit, inshallah, right? Okay, so now we established the importance of prayer, what we're supposed to achieve. So how come the prayers can be invalidated or nullified? First of all, anything that invalidates the wudu or ablution will invalidate the prayer. Agree?
Yeah.
So if you pass wind, go to the toilet, number one, number two, regardless, right? Long sleep, any more things? Yeah, camel meat. Insanity invalidates everything, not just the prayer. Right? You're not accountable to anything, right? Sorry? I'm going to discuss this.
Yeah.
I'm going to discuss this, right? Yeah, this is sexual relationships. Yes. So all this will invalidate your wudu, so will invalidate your prayer. Right? So that means after you have intercourse with a wife, right, you need to do the ghusl. If not, your prayer will not be accepted. As simple as that. Now, what we're going to touch about is a few things. Touching the opposite sex. Right? Now, in madhab Shafi'i, how's the Hyde Park? Right? Now, in madhab, I believe is Shafi'i, right? No, only Shafi'i, right? For Shafi'i, you cannot touch the opposite sex, whether it's deliberately or not deliberately, whether it has desire or no desire, you cannot touch. Yeah. Yes.
So what's this for?
No, touching, as in touch.
Oh, okay.
Right? Another, so this is Shafi'i, very strict. The opposite end is you guys. Hanafi, right? You can touch anything, whether it desire or no desire, it won't invalidate your wudu. The Hanbali and Maliki is in the middle. Only when you touch with desire, then you will invalidate the wudu. If not, it won't. Now this causes difficulties when we do Umrah, as you know. You cannot avoid not touching accidentally, of course. People. Then what happened to people follow the Shafi'i? Which means that they wudu will be invalid completely. Where's his name? Adam, Syria. He studies Shafi'i Mazhab. Now, the word in Arabic is called lamas, which is to touch, right? And that is the issue now. So if we look in Surah number 4, I think, yeah, 443.
And also 5, 6 as well.
Sorry?
And 5, 6 as well.
Yes, 5, 6, 4. But this is the main issue, right? So let's look in 4:3. Sorry, what did I say? 4:43. 4:43. Talking about, let's look at second part. Is talking about do you to do tayammum, right? So wa in kuntum marda aw ala safarin aw jaa ahadun minkum minal ghaiti aw lamastumun nisa. This one, right? So this is the one, right? So the meaning is, if you're ill on a journey and one of you becomes, one of you comes after answering the call of nature, or you have been in contact with women. This is the issue. In contact, is it means touch or the sexual intercourse? And this is the main issue.
Yeah, because my translation says consulted.
Yours is not the correct one. Which is yours? By who?
No.
Now, who's the translator? It's very important. So
This says sexual
yes, this is David, by the way. David just joined us. This David, he's just joined us. He took a shahada in May, right? He took a shahada in February, right? So, brother, are you a revert too? When you take shahada?
7 years ago, so I didn't follow through.
It's okay. We are here. It's not too late. You're still alive. We have to prepare. All of us on a journey. Don't worry, right? All of us have mistakes we make. We are still learning. Don't worry, right? So as long as you, inshallah, you try to move forward from now on, just to learn, inshallah. Yeah. Now, so this is the main issue about touching, right? Now this is quite important because people interpret differently. But again, brothers, I have to say all this, even though they're scholars, is still based on personal opinion. But their opinion is very valid because they know the deen very well, much more than all of us combined. Right? So we do need to take a look at what they see, right? I think it boils for the Shafi, it boils down to a hadith of that Prophet some say that touching a person's hand is a form of zina, right? And this is where the Shafi comes in. You use the word touching, lamast, yeah, but that doesn't mean that hadith and the Quran, the language is the same. Then it's definitely touching, right? Now, but if you look, for example, in Surah number 2, verse number 236 and 237, this is talking about divorce. What did I say? To what? Yeah. لا جناح عليكم إن طلقتم النساء ما لم تمسوهن. Right? So there is no sin of you if you divorce women, yet you have not touched them. Logically, what does not touch them means? It's not just touch, right? So this is where the logic comes in. Next verse, same thing, right? وَإِن طَلَّقْتُمُوهُنَّ مِنْ قَبْلِ أَن تَمَسُوهُنَّ. Right? And if you divorce them before you have touched, surely must not be just touch. This is full sexual intercourse. Right? Sorry to say this, it must be penetration, not anything else. Right? And so from this on, it is important to understand this, right? Why some scholars say this, some scholars say that, right? If you look at the Hanafis madhab about you can do anything with women, as in whether you touch deliberately or not deliberately, whether there's what I call desire or not, your wudu will still be valid. Based on what hadith? Prophet Muhammad was praying. Subhanallah, he's such an amazing person, but his room is like, I think 1/6 of this, very small room. The room of beloved Prophet Muhammad is so small, and this story is not of the house, that when he prays, Aisha was in the way, and he got to tap, so skin to skin, touch Aisha, and he still continued the prayer. So it's not about touching. This is the first hadith. Second hadith was regarding same thing. Aisha anha was in the dark. He was grabbing, he accidentally touched Prophet Muhammad's feet when he was doing prostration. Second hadith. Third hadith, Prophet was kissing one of his wives. Immediately he went out to do his prayer. Right? So from these three hadith, it's not about touching that will invalidate your wudu. And this is quite important to know. Right? So from then on, majority of the scholars, big scholars, the old scholars is Ibn Taymiyyah, the new current scholars, Ibn Baz, Ibn Uthaymin, all agreed with the Hanafis that the wudu will not be invalidated just because you are touching, whether purposely or deliberately, right? It doesn't invalidate the wudu. Understand? It's quite important for us to understand because you may come across people who practice. If you go to my side of the world, Indonesian, some people, Malaysians, some people think that tell you, oh, I cannot, I wudu, nobody must touch me, right? So, and this contradicts people who go to Umrah. You went to Hajj, right? You will touch somebody because so many people, body to body, you will touch somebody. How can you need to be instead of wudu in doing your tawaf? Question?
People who follow that opinion, we don't need to, we just let them follow that opinion, right?
Yes. But again, of course, we do need to say about what I said about all these verses in the Quran, and secondly about the hadith. If Prophet Muhammad himself can touch, or his wife and all this, or can kiss somebody, how can we not touch accidentally somebody, right? It doesn't make sense. So this is very important opinions that we need to understand whether, because remember we said just now, whatever invalidates the wudu would invalidate the salah. Yeah, so we have to be careful. Second thing is about bleeding. Bleeding and vomiting. Does it invalidate your wudu? Shafi'i says no.
I think Hanafi said if you bleed, like it's spread the wudu, right?
Hanafi says yes. Right? I think Shafi'i and Hanbali, I think, says no. Maliki and yeah. So sorry to say the new for you guys, right? This is the main scholars, the four schools of thoughts. The Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ibn Abu Hanifah, Malik, and last one Hanbali, right? Ahmad Hanbali. These are four imams. For us, what we believe, we take the strongest opinion, and that's quite important. Not to stick to, because most of them, or many of them, have been diluted with cultures. Agreed? My side all over the world have been diluted with cultures and innovations because they just follow blindly. We shouldn't follow blindly. We look at the hadith, whether it's authentic or not. Yeah. So in general, the most common opinion is bleeding, even though it's bleeding, it doesn't invalidate your wudu. And vomiting too doesn't invalidate your wudu.
Is that the majority of the?
Yes. Okay. So it's important to understand this, right? Because if you don't understand, then somebody say, oh, well, I'm praying. I think I'm bleeding from my mouth. So you have to be going to dental treatment, right? Some bleeding here. Oh, that means my wudu and prayer is not accepted. It's not. Because at the end of the day, it's all about common sense, correct? So that means if I took out my tooth, big hole there, I cannot pray the whole day. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. Okay. Questions? So this is the first issue that so the topic for today, I remind you today, what makes our prayer invalid or nullified? The first thing, anything which invalidates the wudu will invalidate the salah. Second thing is very important, right? Our aura. What is aura for men? From navel to the knee. So does it include the knee and includes the navel? Iftikar? Sorry? So what is your opinion? What is your opinion? Yes. What do you think? Bob?
It should be covered. I think it should be able to cover it. But sometimes when I pray.
No. Not about your opinion. I'm talking about what is the correct opinion is when you say it's in between the navel and the knee, does it include the navel and the knee?
Yes, it does.
So that means the navel and knee must be covered. Navel and knee. Now you must not follow your own assumptions. This is not BOPO. It's not based on personal opinion, right? It must be opinion from the scholars. Most of the big scholars say it does. That means it is in between the knee and the navel. That means the navel can be exposed, and it does not include the navel and the knee. Yeah, this is the most common opinion and most valid opinion from today. But of course, you and I know, to be safe, as you say, we should cover it. Because if you uncover some, is it the knee? Which part of the knee? How much is exposed the knee? Then it becomes another contention. That you cannot have khushu in your prayer. Right?
Sometimes when you pray, sometimes when I pray, sometimes when you're bending to prostrate or bow, sometimes inadvertently.
Yeah, so this is what I'm going to cover after this, right? So first of all, the aura of the male is from the knee to the navel, but excludes the navel and excludes the knee in between. All right. For females,
The whole body, the hands and the face.
yeah, and this you need to remember, because especially your family members, your wife, and you need to remind them, right? Is the face only and the hands. That's it. So that means let's look at females first, right? A lot of time when they do this, the sun goes down like this. What happened? That might invalidate the prayer, isn't it true? Because it's not the aura. So I have to be careful with the females. Sometimes I would advise them to put inside the tight things until here. That at least doesn't, because once is this, you got no khushu.
Is that females praying?
Females, everywhere.
Even if they're
of course, yes.
Okay.
Right, this is the first thing. Second thing about females is the hair. I don't understand why in Saudi Arabia and in UAE, right? It's fashion to show the hair and all this. And being down and all this part of aura is a sin to uncover the aura, right? So it's very important, the head. I think the last one is for the females is the feet. Even though the Hanafi madhab said it's okay to uncover the feet, the majority of scholars say you should cover your feet with socks, or at least if its overflow is over the floor, your dressing, so that when you do your sujud and all this, your feet is not exposed.
So do you have this specific topic in the sisters?
Yeah, finished.
Yeah. Regarding this.
Yeah, finished. Yeah. Okay. So this is very important to understand with your wives and your mothers and your aunts. You need to remind them this. Okay. For the men, that's why I like to wear this. Not because I'm so amazingly knowledgeable with this. It's not, because I think wearing this, it makes it easy for me. I don't have to worry about my back. Agree? Right? It's not about different cultures. It's just, alhamdulillah, I liked it. More comfortable. For the men, as you said, it's all mostly about the back. And I hate, forever give you things, I hate it when they show the cracks.
Yeah.
And the worst part, they are so oblivious about the cracks. You do need to understand that it's as simple as it is, that when you do prostration, you do show your bit of back. Then you need to make sure you wear the t-shirts must be long. Doesn't matter how long, but long, not as in just at your belly side. Surely will cover your cracks be shown.
So, you come across a situation when someone is praying, because you see that you're supposed to cover them, right?
Yeah.
In one blow, basically, it became a wedgie.
Yeah.
So it's always.
Yeah. And let me finish first, right? Secondly, before I forget, I always forget things. Umrah. When you do Umrah, you saw, right? Especially, sorry to say this, especially your side, right? Moving, and your side, the Asians, they do not know how to ihram attire. You can see there, right? They show the bellies, and they just put the thing. So you wrap the two the two part is so low because mostly got belly, right? So the thing go below the belly button is shown. It's just okay, but so much low, and then they just to put cloth just around here, and then they go like this. How can it be? This is your aura, right? Sorry.
Too much rice.
Yeah, but the thing is clear. Aura is aura. It will invalidate your prayer if you do it. First of all, if you do it deliberately. Secondly, if you think that you exposed a little bit, right, and you do not know about it, then it's okay. So for example, I know it's not perfect. The woman's hair, sometimes 1, 2 strands come out and you didn't know about it. It's okay. Huh?
What do you have this in the back?
Oh, subhanallah, I do not know. I don't know how to correct this. and then thirdly, right? So thirdly, if a lot becomes uncovered, so example, right? You wear things are so loose that the whole thing, pants almost come out, right? You do it, then quickly do it, then it doesn't invalid. You must do it quickly, uncover it up again.
What about wearing like t-shirts with like images on them? Does that have to be covered as well?
Yes.
But why is that?
Because we're not allowed to wear things that have images of things in living things with the soul in Islam. That's how it is. Because Allah will say on the day of judgment, I'm the one who creates, not you. Right? So that's why images and all this are not allowed. Right? So when we wear, why you need an escort? 2 of them need to come out and escort you in. How are you? Okay. So this is very important that we understand our aura. Agree? That means you and I need to wear clothes before when we go to the prayer, the mosque, that will not uncover our aura. As simple as that. T-shirts must be long. Right? People like to wear tight t-shirts, right? Especially those gym goers, right? And then when you bend in, everything is shown. This is your aura, so you have to be careful.
So
Same thing. Aura is aura, but this is worse because it's your prayer. We're going to present it all on the day of judgment. It's not accepted. It's finished. Right?
It's even worse because if you don't know your aura, when you go to Umrah, you see everyone exposing themselves.
Yes, we talked just now. Sound again. Good to see you. Come again. Yeah.
can I get your number? Is it
Yes.
okay to ask
Do you have a number?
you? Yeah, I'll give you mine.
Can you turn on this, please? No, write in this on, please. Yeah, please. Write down the name and number. Right. We just discussed this now. We just discussed this about in Umrah. People are wearing this shirt, especially you guys, right? From Asian continents.
You just stick them out and it's like tucked underneath the belly.
Yeah. This is the aura, so you have to be careful.
So if, like in frank terms, is the Umrah accepted then? Because they're doing it, showing off the aura. It's like
Allah knows
doing it
best.
without hijab.
Yeah, Allah knows best. I do not know. Because the prayer is not accepted.
Yeah, the prayer can't be accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
What happens when you're praying and you notice that, for example, suppose like you've got a t-shirt.
Yeah. So as I said, quickly do it, and inshallah it won't invalidate your prayers. Right. But again, it's still your fault, right?
I did hear something in a.
No, it's still your fault, right?
Yeah.
You are the one who wear this, and you know it's going to be exposed.
Yeah.
So before we do that, at least in winter, it's quite good to wear a long jacket. It's easy in winter, but in summer, when you wear t-shirts and jeans. So I prefer, for me personally, I will bring this. Thank you very much.
Call me is better, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
What's your name? Sorry.
Francis.
Francis. Yeah. Good to meet you. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Bye. Take care. What was it? Yeah, so that means you have to prepare yourself. I would always, when I'm in my working clothes or in my gym and all this, I would always bring this in my bag. When I pray, I just put it on. Very simple.
Yeah.
Right? So it's up to you. At the end of the day, brothers, if you are exposing yourself, it's your fault. Agree? Yes.
So I have a question. And the aura. So some people say you have to cover the full knee. Some people say just above the knee. Yeah. But in your salah, if you're wearing it just below the knee, and when you go into sujood or something, it goes above the knee.
Yeah.
Is that how?
So we discussed this now. Part of aura is between navel and the knee, without excluding the knee, excluding the navel. So it's better to put a bit below here. This exposed, just right the knee is nice. It's okay, inshallah. But it's better to put lower. Is it true?
Just so you have to ask these questions.
Not only that, because we have no khushu', no?
Yes.
How can you keep on staring at your knee and all this? You have no khushu', right? So it's very important because khushu' is very important in the prayer, right? قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Successful indeed are the believers. Who are these? The first criteria, those who are praying with khushu'. Not just praying, but with khushu', with full submission to Allah, full concentration to Allah. Yeah? Questions?
If, say you've got like, you know, something covering your head,
Yes.
I don't know, like a dish dash or whatever you've got, but basically if you've got it kind of, if it falls down or something while you're praying,
Yeah.
you're meant to just leave it. I heard on a video.
Yeah, leave it because your hair is this one is not part of the condition of prayer, right?
Yeah.
Yes, leave it.
Yeah.
But it's quite important to ensure that your forehead touches the ground, right? Not this is not covered the front. Your forehead must touch the 7 parts of body must touch the ground, right? Forehead until the nose, right? 2 palms, knees, and the heels, right?
So what about if you're wearing with shoes?
Yes.
That's still accepted.
Yes, of course. It's accepted, especially when you're outside and all this, right? Not in the mosque.
Do you mean toes or heels?
This.
Yeah.
Toes, sorry, yeah. Yeah, toes.
That's why
Yes.
because you got the shoes.
Yes.
Say the same thing about the cup.
Yes. No, the shoes are valid, of course. You can put in your shoes, put in your socks and all this.
So I
Right?
used to pray at work with shoes because they're hard.
Yes.
Still cuts.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Make sure you when you do your wudu, you do your wudu outside the shoes, on the shoes. Yes.
I take it off and do it all.
No, yes, the shoes.
Is that
If the socks is okay, but better to burn the shoes. Yes, socks or shoes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Socks.
Yep. Any socks, as long as it's not too thin. So the water must not reach the skin of your. Yeah, the top from here to here. There's just a top here. Inshallah. Okay. Now the next one, number 3. So what invalidates the prayer? The first one was the wudu. Anything invalidates the wudu, invalidates the prayer. Second one,
Missing
the aura. Yeah, the aura. If it exposed, especially deliberately, then it would invalidate the prayer. Remember when you saw who said you saw about the American people? The woman is praying as the imam. Completely can see the hair, everything can be shown, right? Next is shown and all this. That's when the aura is completely shown. I'm not judging, but never.
only for other women.
Only with other women, of course.
I have a question here. When I just reverted here, someone told me I should cover my shoulder as well. Is that also like?
Yes, it's part of the things that we should cover the shoulder. So that's why when doing Umrah, we expose the right shoulder. When we start to pray, we cover the shoulder. It's one of the conditions that we better. But even if we don't, if we expose the shoulder, it's okay. But it's better to uncover. It's not disallowed, but it's better to cover the shoulder. Okay. Next one, number 3. Turning away from the Qibla to a large extent. I used to pray in this mosque in Tan Park Lane. Right? Let's say that people are praying in this direction. We've been praying for so many months. Took my compass, went there, Qibla is this side. I was so angry, right? It's because for them, if they pray to this side, they got less rows. In Tan Park, so what do? I go to the next mosque, other mosque.
The big mosque, White Lane Road Mosque.
Yes. No, one row is good. Those small mosques.
The small,
What's the name?
Taiba.
At the Sydney Road, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small.
That's a wrong Qibla.
Just to make a bit of extra space, then we direct the Qibla.
Yes. Because when you do this, you get 1, 2 rows, very clear rows. If you do this, you get much less rows. Right? And it's wrong. Right? So if let's say it's only about 5 degrees, 10 degrees, perhaps it's okay. But this is almost 40 degrees, 45 degrees. It's completely wrong. And I was so shocked because how do I know? How does I expect? Some people who have been there for a long time, they join us this direction for the whole. But soon now they turn this way. I said, how come? I brought my compass. It's this side. It's so annoying. Yes. Right? Yes. It is, but only if you do not know the Qibla. No, they know the Qibla is. They should do this way, not that way, because it's quite important.
You know, that's straight mosque. Yes.
Yes.
You see, you mean that the Qibla is not on the same direction?
You didn't know, right?
They're praying.
Yes.
I'm praying there, but what I have to do? I have to join the, you know.
When we do not know, of course, Allah inshallah will accept us.
Yeah.
Then you don't pray the mosque again. You need to pray in the white man's road. Yes, that's the right. If you look at the Qibla, they pray in a angle.
Yeah.
Yes, it's different to Qibla. Sorry? Mixed. No, 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 no. It's not your colors. There's a lot of Algerians, right? A lot of Algerians.
We have one Algerian.
Always the problem, people.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think Khalil better to pray another mosque. I changed my mosque after that to the big one.
Yeah, we could ask for like the Qibla compass, because on my phone,
I
it
know.
changes direction.
Always change directions. You must buy the manual compass in the mosque. It's only £5. That's the most. I've changed a lot of directions Qibla when people praying in the airports even, because sometimes they do the thing wrong and they just turn them.
So I think if you do something like this,
Yeah. I don't know. That's why you buy a manual one. Just from the mosque, it's only about £5, right? The is where is Mecca or the Qibla is southeast, yes.
we find those little small craters.
Yeah, the north is always the same, right? And then you just and then the number is 250 the number. Yes. No, the number as in the compass number, not the degree number. Compass number 250.
So it's 118 degrees. Yeah, like from the UK based southeast.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you go to a different country, you don't-
Yeah, it's changed. When I was Singapore, it's opposite. Yes. Okay, so brothers, very important. Your qibla, of course. If you are somewhere where you do not know what it is, you have no compass, you are confused, you can pray any direction in Greek, but try to make it. So let's say north is here, right? Try to make it roughly there.
But yeah, if you
Right.
just open up your map and you can kind of see a basic direction. of where
Yes.
to go.
But
You have nothing else.
but some people are quite hopeless, no?
Yeah.
So yeah, pray anywhere, right? But make sure pray on time, inshallah. Any questions?
Oh, what's the ruling on stopping, bro? Like,
Sorry?
let's say someone walks in front of you, like something loud, you hear some loud noise while you're praying.
This is different topic.
Yeah.
Next time, inshallah. I need to finish this, all right? Okay, number 4. Presence of impurity in one's body. Right? So for example, if you're walking and then after that, there's what do you call it? Poo on your shoulder, right? The pigeon's poo on the shoulder, right? What do? If you notice it or even remember during the prayer and remove it, then the prayer is still valid. Yes. You need to wash your hands, yes. Right? This is impurity, right? Similarly, if he does not find out about it until after the prayer is over, listen to this. If he does not find out about it until the prayer is over, the prayer is still valid. So that means if I do not know anything about it, I pray that the poo on the back, the pigeon poo on my back, the prayer is still valid because I do not know about it. It's only invalid if you know about it and you do not remove it.
So in that case, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just clean it off or spray it?
Yeah, just go toilet, take out your shirts and clean it and wear it again. Sorry? Sorry? Yeah, if you know it. Yes. The only thing that is accepted is that you do not know at all about it. And then, yes, if you know about it, quickly go and then clean and pray again, inshallah.
Sometimes, in London, when you go walking in the park, there's English people, got a lot of dogs. Sometimes you don't know about the state of the dog. If it's been raining, they lick your.
Yeah.
Then you have to clean. They actually dirty than a pig.
Yeah.
You have to actually clean it with mud, I think.
Yeah, but it depends on scholarly opinions about this. According to some scholars, a good big scholar, they said only when the dog licks a container, then you clean it 7 times. Not on others. But again, another opinion says you need to 7 times with water, I think 1 time with mud, right?
Yeah.
With it, only for containers.
Yeah.
There's different opinions got this.
I think the point I was making is they're actually dirty than a pig.
Yes, the point you're making is that as long as you avoid it, that's the best,
Yeah.
right? I don't understand why people, no dogs, don't touch the dogs. I don't know, lick you. The dogs will definitely lick you 100%, right? What is the hadith about if you have a dog in the house and he is not, if not for protection, every day, the house, you have a dog in the house, your deed as much as a mountain is removed.
Effectively sinning.
Yeah. Okay, so do be careful with dogs. Just don't enter the house, dogs. Yes.
What is like if you're wearing shoes, yeah, and then the dog comes without knowing, like, so that you skip out, would you say that?
Just wash it. Yeah, wash it. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah. Now, so very important, you need to wash it. If not, your prayer may be invalid. Yeah. Yes.
I saw a video where just a person went into a masjid.
Brothers, listen.
I saw a video where a person walked into a masjid and prayed in the wrong direction.
Yes.
What is the right thing to do? Do you stop them during the salah and say this is the right direction?
Yes.
Or do you let them finish?
Or I would just turn the.
You just grab them.
Yeah, yes, I did. Yeah.
You're attacking them. Stop.
No. Yeah, I did it a few times. Yeah. Now, number 4. Number 5, excessive movement without no essential reason. Right? You went to Umrah, all these Arabs, with all these beards, they would do this, they would adjust the scarf and all this, and do this again. That is excessive movement. Agreed, Usama? Your people, no? Yes.
What about if we see there's an empty row and the front should be going
That's a sunnah.
while we're in prayer?
Yes, a sunnah.
So just if there's many empty rows, you just keep walking.
Yeah, as much as possible, right? And this is part of how our status are elevated in hereafter, right? The more you do this, the more you are elevated in the status, inshallah, right? So another thing that you need to remember, if your mobile phone is ringing, what do? Even though your phone is in front, go only a few steps, of course. Just turn it off, as long as you do not face away from the Qibla. So if I'm standing, the Qibla is I'm standing here, and then somebody knock on the door, I can like this, open, and I stand again. But what I must not do is I stand here, yeah, and I answer.
Amazon driver place.
But in the case when they pick up their phone, yeah, they look who's calling.
Yeah, so a few times. No? So very important, it is you should not. It's your fault anyway. Your phone is on, is it? Doesn't matter. You forgot. It's your fault.
There's a big issue with the affecting other people's conscience.
Yes.
Scary.
So you do need to immediately. I know again your side, right? Some people do not know about this rule. They just keep on the phone ring and ring and ring. It is mubah. Mubah means you're allowed to move, right?
What would the azan look
What do you mean?
Some people on their phone, the azan is going on.
That's okay.
They turn off the azan.
Not necessary. The adhan is different, but the salah is different. Yeah.
I heard that it's parents that are calling you should actually follow instead of.
That is a personal opinion. That's YouTube video, right? There's one video, right?
What?
There's one YouTube video, right? About this. Yeah. No. When you say some people, say Indonesians.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
So Ustad, what about with your salah last week?
Yes.
Should you just abandon the salah?
Yeah. So brothers, if you are in salah and you want to go to the toilet, especially, cannot take it. Should you keep on the prayer or should go to the toilet immediately? Toilet immediately, and then your nose is sunnah to go up there, go, because you are pretending you have a nosebleed. That's sunnah.
You can hold it, but you're just holding. You haven't done it. You're holding your air.
But if you hold air, it affect your khusyuk. You should just let it go. I was thinking of the song, no? Let it go. Questions? Is it important topic today?
Yeah.
Ready, because a lot of people are careless about things. Yes.
What about like women on the donkey?
Sorry.
There's a woman passes in front of the
Yeah.
donkey. So,
Invalid.
it's broken.
Let me check about that. I heard about this, but
The woman walks in front of there's a donkey in front of the company.
But that's only if.
I heard about this, but I never checked. I'll check, inshallah. Can you text me and remind me, inshallah?
Is
Yes.
that if there's no thing in front of you?
No sutra. Yes.
I think it's regardless of sutra.
Let me check, inshallah. I heard about this a lot, but I don't know why I never checked. Anyway, I'll check, inshallah. Yeah. That is why, in Umrah, right? Been in Umrah, right? Remember?
Yeah.
When sometimes you have to pray behind a woman, people say, no, don't pray because, I heard. I just follow. I didn't know why. So I think I should find out the. Okay, so excessive movements. Always remember it. There are 5 kinds of movement in a prayer. One is obligatory. What is obligatory movement? No,
If
what?
someone is passing through.
Yes, if somebody is passing in front of you, it's obligatory. It's not sunnah to stop the person passing in front of you. Doesn't matter. Stop.
But
Try
is
to.
that,
Yes.
is that only for leading the salah?
No, everybody.
Even if it's like.
No. Sorry. Okay. Let me elaborate. It is not for people where the imam is leading you. Because imam is a sutra in front there, right? When you're praying alone or sunnah. And then it is obligatory for you to put up your hand to prevent. And if the person keep on insisting walking, fight him.
So, what I'm saying is that's not, if you're praying it to a door or an exit, then you shouldn't do
It's
that.
your fault.
It's your fault, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, so then the other person's like you.
Yeah. Remember the mosque beside EICC?
Yeah.
There is there's a corridor for you to walk. They shouldn't walk in that place for you. That's a good
But it's
place.
like a little kid, like he doesn't understand anything, he keeps coming in front of you.
Yeah, but try to do once or twice, inshallah.
Thinking, what?
Oh, I remember, yeah. I
Right.
remember I was praying Maghrib in the masjid, yeah, and some little girl, she started to lapse right in front of us.
So annoying. Is it Bangladeshi?
That's not
Okay, so this is the first movement which is obligatory. This is what is sunnah movement? As you said just now, somebody said if you see a gap, you walk in front to fill up the gap. This is sunnah, you got the reward, inshallah. All right. Thirdly is mubah.
Is that the only sunnah?
Yes. Mubah is when you have a phone ringing, you can pick up, baby crying, you should carry the baby so you don't distract or leave the baby less distressful, carry the baby up, right? It's a mubah, it's allowed to do so. Macro is when you look at the sky. Allah is there, right? It's not, this is macro, this light. Closing eyes, yes. But and then let me finish. The haram movement is too many movements. Okay, so the five kind of movements is all of us must be aware of it. Sorry, question?
I was just thinking this the other day. Like if you're praying in your room and it's like the windows like just here and you're dying and he's got
To do what?
during the salon just to let fresh air in. I've always wondered.
Yeah, I suppose it's mubah, is it?
You're allowed to,
Right?
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
to have a khushu in your prayer. But as long as it's only one or two steps.
Yeah,
Not from
my
here
room
to the
is-
step that you go
I'm
down.
praying and then the window is just like above me, so I can just go
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, but I think you should do that before, right? Next time, in a sense.
I haven't done it, but I just wanted to know.
You know my situation, obviously, my parents don't know, my sister doesn't know. Sometimes my sister like try to walk in, like in the room while I'm praying. So what should I do in that circumstance? Because the door's behind me. And like, I don't want to like walk in, it's gonna be awkward. So like, what should I do? Normally what I do, I just kind of like stop the prayer, yeah.
Do you want me to be harsh?
Yeah.
Okay, look at Surah number 9, verse number 24. Then you know the answer. Read for me. Your translation is horrible. Who has the Muslim translation? 924. No, not Sahih Muslim. This is second grade.
I got
Wahsin Khan. This is the best translation. Hussein Khan. No, not yours. Hussein Khan. That's right. No, not Sahih International. Who has the Muslim Khan translation? You guys are really. I'll show you later. 924. You heard this verse so many times.
Your father, your son,
Okay, listen.
your mother, your son, your brother, your wives, your relatives, wealth which you have obtained, commerce wherein you fear decline, and dwellings which you are pleased are more beloved to you than Allah and His Messenger, and jihad in His cause, that wait until Allah executes His command, and Allah does not guide the defiantly disobedient people.
Execute His command means that His punishment, right? The torment.
And Allah guides not the people who are al-fasiq.
Fasiq. So you're considered fasiq if you do this, if you think others are more important than you. So this is my answer to your question, right? I would say that's it. Perhaps Allah wants your parents or sister to know, isn't it?
Or just get a chair, lodge.
Yeah.
No disrespecting.
What about for the people that pray that they're not religious? Put their hands down.
Yeah.
What is if
I've seen that for.
I know it's okay. It's a sunnah. It's not obligatory part of prayer. But
what if someone like calls your name like during prayer? It's the same answer.
let's keep going. You're not supposed to be. You're going to talk about it later, inshallah, right? Now the next one, this is quite important. Omitting one of the pillars of the prayer. The prayer is divided into, we discussed before, the pillar, obligatory, and the sunnah. Pillar means if you miss it, any of the pillars, what happened? It's invalid. Obligatory, if you miss any obligatory parts, what do you happen? You do the two procession forgetfulness. Sunnah, whatever, right?
So
Doesn't matter.
You know the two forgetfulness is
Yes.
after you finish the tashahhud.
Tashahhud.
Tashahhud, yeah.
Yes. Before the salam. Yes.
Isn't there two, you can do it at 2 different times depending on what you forgot? Isn't it before the salam? Or something
Yeah, it's too
after?
detailed. That doesn't matter. Yeah.
I think we need to go through what's, like, for example, and the commonest one is when you forget whether how many rakats you've done, isn't it?
No, let's go through the pillars first.
Oh, okay.
Right? What are the 14 pillars of a prayer? If you do not do this,
Allah.
yep.
Turn to your right. Turn to your
Okay. What's the first pillar? No. Stand. That means you cannot, if you're driving a car, you cannot say, okay, let's pray in the car in the motorway. Let's pray in the car. You cannot, because you are in control of your vehicle. You should stop, or you must stop and pray when you're standing. If you are in the hospital, the shopping center, and there is changing room, right? You cannot pray sitting down because you don't want people to discover you're standing up, right? You need to pray standing up. You must, if you're able to. Even when you cannot do your sujood and ruku', you must stand up and pray. And then when you do your ruku', then you do your ruku' sitting down.
Oh, you can. What when you're on a plane?
Plane, sit down.
The plane.
Sit down. Because usually it's quite difficult, right? The seats sometimes are inclined and you cannot stand up properly.
If you're on a plane, do you still pray that day? Or is that considered part
If you're in Saudi Air, you must pray standing up because there's a room to pray. Yes.
Emirates as well.
Yeah? Are you business class?
No.
Okay. So standing is very important. Yes.
You don't have to do it.
Yeah, you just sit down like this. Yes. The standing is very important.
Like if you're in a masjid and it's really hot, sometimes you cannot do the sujood
No.
because it's really.
Yeah, I know, but that's not an excuse, right? Then you either you should come early or join the next Jumu'ah, inshallah. Right? Now this is first one. Second one, Takbiratul Ihram. Now this is takbir, not the position. Allahu Akbar. That is your first takbir. So this is where a lot of people make a mistake, right, Bob? Right? A lot of people, when Imam is in sujood, you just say Allahu Akbar and just join. You need to say two takbir. The first takbir, Allahu Akbar, not the hand not to be this. It's Allahu Akbar and Allahu Akbar. Right? Two takbir. If not, you would miss this pillar of the prayer, which makes your prayer invalid. Right? So Imam is in sujood, and I just came to the mosque. I joined. I must say first Allahu Akbar to start the prayer. Then Allahu Akbar to join. The Imam is in the sujood position. So two takbir.
Okay.
Right? A lot of people are not doing this. So again, this will.
So if you was ignorant about this,
Yeah, Allah knows best. Allah will handle you. Right? That is why, honestly, right? Seeking knowledge is important, right? It's obligatory, not a sunnah. You know this, right? Third one, Al-Fatiha. You must recite Al-Fatiha. If not, it's invalid. So if the Imam is reciting Al-Fatiha loud, I would do it after Imam says, Wallah Dhalin, Amin, then I recite Al-Fatiha. Sometimes the Imam has a short gap and it's good for me, then I can recite more comfortably.
That's not a pillar.
It's a pillar, Al-Fatiha.
Yeah,
But again,
but not in the loud prayers, right? It's if you can, right? I've checked on that.
What do you mean?
saying if the Imam gives you time to recite it. So let's say it's not.
Yeah, so this is different opinions.
Yeah.
Because let's say Imam is reciting loud Maghrib, right? Then I can choose not to recite because Imam is reciting, but I choose another opinion that I want just to be safe.
So
Then I will recite Al-Fatihah. After Imam say Wala Dhalin, Amin, then I recite Al-Fatihah.
And it depends on the Imam. Sometimes they will say each verse and give a pause.
Yes.
And then you can recite during
Yes,
the
you can.
pause following them.
Yeah.
What the end
Yeah, it's just again it's a different opinion. People
What we say as he's saying. So he's saying out loud and then you go.
it can, but some scholars they don't like it. That what's his name? Sheikh Hasim, right? He didn't like it. He just said no, this shouldn't do this and all this. Different opinion, different
Yeah,
person.
his and he said that for the ones where he's praying out loud, then you don't have to you go off the one that
Yeah.
you don't have to say.
Yeah, who said that?
That's the
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
and obviously the other ones are after them.
Yeah. yeah. So different opinions. Up to you what you want to do. Yeah, but for you, especially when you are doing alone, you must recite Al-Fatihah. Right? But sometimes we just forget it. No? Yeah.
You don't have to recite any.
I think sometimes, for me, when you do your tahajjud, right? Because you're obsessed with memorizing things.
Yeah.
Then sometimes
You might miss it.
just straight away because you just finish one part of the Quran in the tahajjud first rakah. Second time, you just start with the second part immediately. It happens.
So you don't recite a verse after Fatiha, do you?
Now the verse of the Fatihah is a sunnah, right? So you do not need to recite that.
Even in your obligatory prayers, you just recite.
Yes, yes. The second part of tashahhud is a sunnah. So your prayer can end. Your prayer can end with Allah. Asyhadu alla ilaha illallah, asyhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Then you can just end the prayer.
Say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
No, it's a sunnah. You get better to say, of
Like, you
course.
have more reward.
Yes. Okay. Next one. Ruku'. If you don't go to ruku' bowing, of course, your prayer will be invalid. Right? So you need to go to ruku'. Next one, rising from bowing. From here, you must rise. This is the pillar. Number 5. Number 6, standing up straight. You must stand straight and not go down immediately without your bones being fixed, right? Because if not, your prayer will become invalid. What is the hadith?
All the bones need to be.
What? Yes. He was asked to repeat 3 times. And then he gave up here. Tell me what to do. Then his Prophet said your bone must be fixed in any position. Right?
Come to rest.
Yes. Okay, so don't rush to the prayer. Yeah. Number 7, sujud, of course, right? Number 8, rising from prostration. Number 9, sitting between 2 prostrations. Number 10, being at ease in each of these pillars. Number 11, final tashahhud. Notice it never mentioned the first tashahhud. First tashahhud is obligatory. If you missed it, don't panic. Just finish the prayer and then do the 2% of forgetfulness before you end. Okay? You do not need to do the, let's say you miss after second rakah, you miss the first tashahhud. You don't need to do the first tashahhud at the third rakah. That is wrong. Just finish the prayer and then before you say salam. What happened? Sometimes I forget, no, to do portion of forgetfulness and end the prayer. What do I do?
That's the question I was just going to ask.
What do I do?
You can do another.
Just if you have not if you have not reason and go somewhere else to do things, do it quickly.
So if you really said salam and you just remember you haven't done,
Then just do 2 rakah.
and
Do
then,
sujud. Yeah.
and then salam again.
Yes.
You say Allah Akbar and then.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So always remember this, right? So is the final tashahhud is the pillar, not the first tashahhud. First tashahhud is the obligatory, which you miss, then you just do the 2% forgetfulness before the salam, right? The next one, sitting to recite the final tashahhud and the 2 salams, right? So that means if you don't recite the at-tahiyatullah, salatu wa tayyibat and all this, is not valid the prayer. Right? It must be recited. Yes, if you invalid your prayer, you don't recite the final tashahhud. Yeah, and the 2 salams. Need to say 2 salams. Yes.
If you miss the pillars, you have to finish the salah and then do it again.
What do you mean? Let's see. Oh, I didn't do the takbiratul ihram.
Yeah.
Just cut the prayer.
Just cut the prayer.
There's no point to go through motion and you know it's going to accept it, right? Just go to the prayer. Now, if you want to get out of the prayer, do you say this?
No.
No, just leave the prayer.
So I heard you just say one salam and it's still valid. Is that something?
No need. Just leave the prayer.
No, I'm saying, you know, when you say salam, you have to use both sides. Because I heard like someone.
It's only for the sunnah prayers, right? Especially the janazah prayer, right, on the right side. But better to do them too.
I think in like Morocco and those places as well, but they just want.
Depends on the madhab, yes. Yeah, but majority is 2. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
The third rakat, and then I remember, oh, I didn't do the ruku of the second rakat.
You need to what?
I didn't do ruku in second rakat.
Yes.
So do I immediately start the second rakat or do
I would do all over again. Yeah. Okay. Number 13, the 2 salams. That means you must say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Right? And as you say, just to say, right, is in the nafil prayers is enough to say 1 salam. Right? So the sunnah prayers is enough to say 1 salam. Right? Now last one, doing the pillars in the order mentioned above. So you must do the pillar in the order mentioned just now. So you cannot skip ruku', go to sujud. So must go in that order. Right? Number 7. Right? This is the pillars of prayer. 14 of them, so you must remember, inshallah. Right? Number 7, of how the prayers can be invalidated or invalid. Deliberately doing extra pillars such as bowing. So you want to do extra bowing or extra sujud is not allowed in Islam. Yeah. Number 8, deliberately doing some pillars before others. That means changing the order. As I said, you do sujud first, then you do ruku'. It's not allowed. Number 9, deliberately saying the salam before completing the prayers. The prayers must be complete first, then you end the prayer. You cannot do before that. Easy to understand. Number 10, deliberately changing the meaning whilst reciting. It must be proper al-Fatiha. You must have proper things that is a sunnah, right? To say whatever things you're reciting, right? It must be in the hadith, right? You cannot say. I heard many things that I will say there's no in the hadith, especially I don't know, Rabbana wa lakal hamd and all these many things are not in the hadith. Especially, it's not up to you to say. And you cannot even do Sami Allahu liman hamidah like this, right? You cannot do this. People are doing this. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Yeah.
Wait, I've got a question about that. You know, when you're praying in a congregation, you have to say, and the imam says, Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Do you have to say it yourself as well?
With the imam,
Yeah.
you just say Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
If you say that, though, is it okay? You press the button.
Yeah, it's okay, but yeah. Now, number 11, you deliberately omit one of obligatory parts. Remember, you talk about first tashahhud, it's obligatory. It's not accident. You deliberately omit it. Then the whole prayer becomes invalid. Number 12, this is quite interesting. If you intend to stop praying, that means intention. Can't be bothered. I don't want to pray.
Who does that?
Right? Some people you might never know. You have a lot of problems, a lot of issues with your friends and all that. You only meet your friends, your girlfriend somewhere, right? And then I've got no time. Okay, I don't want to pray.
I guess it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you be careful in this, right? Number 13, laughing out loud.
What was smiling?
Smiling is okay, but not too much, right? But laughing out loud will invalid completely. You have to be careful.
I had a kid once who started, he came right up and Salah and was looking at me like that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Smile.
Smile, and so it's not laugh,
Yeah.
right? Deliberately speaking, because in those days, early when the prayer was first established, people praying, the Sahaba, right, looking at each other, and they talk and all this stuff. And how it was started, because nobody knows about the rules of the prayer. But now it's established that you must not speak at all, right, during the prayer. Intentionally eating and drinking. Tarawih, right? Very long, right? Eating all the chips and all this. Right? So all this is not allowed. Now the questions that I want to focus is the next one. If you have the wrong intention, let's say, especially in winter, right? Azhar is very close, and you make the wrong intention instead of doing because you haven't done the Dhuhr, and then Asar time comes, and then you intend to pray. So you make the wrong intention. Is the prayer valid?
No.
You can change the intention.
Let's say the imam is praying Asar. You're supposed to pray Asar, but you intend to pray Dhuhr.
Oh, as in you want, but on purpose you want to pray the one.
No, you have done the Dhuhr,
No, that is.
but you just forgot, and then you intend to Intention is from the
because
heart,
your
right?
your and his intention are to be the same.
Yes.
He could be praying sunnah, you could be praying asr.
Yeah, but is it valid or not? Imam is praying asar. You wanted to pray asar, but you forgot and you intend to pray Dhuhr.
No, because I remember I did that mistake not too long ago. I just have to pray again. So.
Yeah, you cannot have the wrong intention. And in the middle of prayer, oh, actually, I intend wrongly. I need to change. You cannot change intention even. You cannot change your intention to another intention, right? When you are praying, it's not valid.
It is with a purpose.
Right? Doesn't matter.
So what do you do in that situation?
I do all the prayer all over again.
So you just.
I start again. I start with them.
So
It's quite important, no? Because at the end of the day, you do not want a prayer to be invalid.
Let's say you're in the second rakah and now you remember. So can you give that prayer?
Leave the prayer. Start all over again.
So that's fine.
Yes. You must leave the prayer because there's no point to pretend again. You know this is going to be invalid because it's a wrong prayer. There's no point. Same thing as when you pass wind, right? You ask question. There's no point to be so embarrassed to go to the toilet. Just go because you know your prayer is not valid. There's no point. Must just go to the toilet immediately and go join the prayer. So the question is, you cannot change your intention in the middle of your prayer to another prayer, right? You can change your intention from a sunnah to another sunnah. So that let's say I'm doing just nafil, I've got nothing to do now, just do sunnah prayer. Says, oh, actually I might as well do the prayer or something else, right? Then I can do that.
So I've got a question. Let's just say, for example, Monday and Thursday when you did the sunnah fasting. Let's just say you haven't eaten that day on a Monday until maybe 3 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
And then you say, I want to fast. Can you do that?
I think 3 may be too late. Right? It should be a bit earlier, but maybe 12. Yeah.
More than half before the half.
Yeah, but 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock is okay, but not more than that.
It's very sure.
No fasting. Yeah. Any questions? But this is important. So that means literally Allah is telling us, focus on your prayer. Don't be careless. Because if you have the wrong intention, the whole prayer will not valid. And the worst thing, you cannot change in between your prayer, the intention for those to answer. Have anybody experienced before? Wow. Very perfect.
Yeah, not that. Maybe I did.
Especially when you're working, right? It's quite confused which prayer is which. Especially when you're working, you cannot see the sun. It's just one office and all this, and Maghrib and all this. It's quite confusing, right? Especially in the winter.
What if you forget like which rakah you did?
Then
Let's say
you
forget like it's like third or fourth rakah.
yeah. So you always take the lower rakah. You always take the lowest, so third in your case, third or fourth, third, and then do the rest, inshallah.
And 2 rakats of, 2 sujood forgetfulness.
Before you end the prayer. Yes.
So, Ayatul Masjid, is that wajib? You have to do it as sunnah. I get mixed.
Now this is what I don't agree with Sheikh, what's his name? Asin. He said Tahiyatul Masjid is obligatory. We do not do it, it's a sin. Right? Sorry? Tahiyatul Masjid. Tahiyatul Masjid. Tahiyatul Masjid. Yes, right. So as far as we know, how many times a day we must do a prayer? 5. Which hadith?
It is like when the man came to the Prophet and he asked him like, about the deeds, and he said,
Tell me about the prayer 5 times a day. Anything more? Say no, unless we should do fasting and all that, right? So it was 5 times. That's the first hadith. Second hadith? Isra Miraj? From 50 to 5, right? So all this is important that we understand about the hadith. Perhaps some of the scholars interpret some of the hadith in a different way.
Like I think as Hassan Hakim interpreted the hadith where, like, when it was Jum'ah and the man came and he said, and then the Prophet says, stand up and stand.
Yeah.
So I think he took this hadith.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, he's got a good scholar, of course. I agree with most of these things, but sometimes I just don't agree with what he said. And he's associated something about, there's nothing wrong with him. Amazing, I love him. But some things, for example, he said about, we must go to the prayer, it's obligatory in the mosque, right? You have to remember that if you're in Pakistan, Bangladesh, then it's obligatory, right? Because the mosques are very close to each other, right? There's no excuse not to go to the mosque. Yeah, Indonesia also, of course, right? But I won't tell the rest of the stories. How many people actually pray in the mosque? I was there, I know. So, but most of us in the Western world, especially, sometimes quite far away, right? More. So perhaps we do our best as possible. But what is not allowed is that when your mosque is quite close by and you got nothing to do, Euro 2024 is coming at 5 o'clock, and you are still watching football and not going to the mosque, and I think that becomes haram. I think it depends on the situation of individually. You agree? Right? Because brothers, like it or not, who is playing at 5? Italy and what? Switzerland, right? 5 o'clock, right? Yeah, remember, right? And you are still, because Asar is about 5:25. Mesh starts at 5 o'clock. If you are not praying at 5:25, then you have done something haram. Do you agree?
You give something preference over
Yes.
something else.
Yes. And this is completely not allowed.
One question, it was a very basic question, but I just get confused on that. So see when the adhan goes off, let's say I'm praying at work, it goes off, right? I go pray. When it goes off, like I go do wudu and I pray, even if it's like 1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes after, like here, like in the mosque.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that a calm?
Now this is vocal, right? This is some personal opinion about congregation prayer. Yeah, yeah, because you guys pray at 7:30 Asar, isn't it true? It's your own opinions. My local mosque Fajr prayer at 4:15 in congregation, right? So this is just by can pray immediately after the adhan. Yes. Right? And you cannot choose, for example, let's say in your local mosque, Fajr is about 4:15. You want to pray you want to fast the sunnah. So that means I choose to stop eating at 4:15. No. You need to stop eating at the earlier time, right? At about 2:40 something, right? 47, yeah. Okay.
So it's like going back to Tati Masjid, is that, so it's sunnah, it's not.
It's a stress sunnah muakkada, right? It's a stressed. It's highly encouraged. If we don't do it, inshallah, I don't think there's any problem.
Like, you know, when I came into Masjid today, come to the class, so I had to pray before.
Yes.
Pray the truth,
Yes. Yes, you should pray. Okay. Yeah. Questions? Is it helpful to this lesson? Right? That you learn about what invalidates your prayer. And it's very important that we improve ourselves. Yeah? When we learn something, be it dressings, our what do you call it, ability to do the correct intention. Right? Everything must be focused so that, brothers, the worst thing that can happen on the day of judgment, you thought that you have done your prayer well, only for your prayer not to be accepted. This is such a waste. Surely that means that it's your fault that you have not done enough homework and not enough knowledge, that you are not able to, your prayer not to be accepted. Right? And of course, the last thing that we need to do for Allah to accept our prayers would be dua. What dua? Yes, Haji Rino. Alhamdulillah. Which surah? 1 to 7. What does it mean? Yeah, almost there. Yeah, Allah accept this from us. Surely you are the all hearer, the all knower. Right? Who said this? Ibrahim alayhi salam when he built the Kaaba. Sorry, question?
You know how you said that we must shouldn't reorder certain parts of the salah. Is it the same thing with?
Sorry, what is it?
You know how you said that you shouldn't, obviously it's not permissible to reorder or shuffle different parts of the salah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with wudu, like let's say
Yes,
you
of course.
nose without washing your mouth first.
Yes. So you don't wash your feet first because it's dirty, right? So use your arms first, right? So it must be in that order. That's why we have Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who taught us how to do things in the Quran. Which surah? 5 verse number 6 and I think 4:43 for the tayammum, right? That Allah informed us about what to wash, right? The head, the face, the arms, and the feet. And then which order? Then we have the hadith to show us. That's why it's impossible for people to say that they are Quranists, because how can you do the things from the Quran when you don't understand, don't know how to do it? Because hadith is always there to help us. That's why the Quranists sometimes they pray three times a day.
Doesn't make any sense.
Because for the Quran, right? That is what 3 times a day. That's now we talk about hadith. One this discussion is not so clear, but the prayer is obligatory for us 5 times a day. Questions?
Someone I don't know if that happens to brothers here, but having 100% khushu in your salah, yeah.
Impossible.
That's what I'm saying. So even if you have got like 10%, is that still stuck? Like, you know,
It's not enough, isn't it true?
not enough. Because thoughts are going through your mind constantly. Your mind, I know my mind is going like sometimes. That's what you
Yeah, then, yeah, but more importantly,
I
then,
try my best, but obviously I still get, you know, thoughts.
yeah, then we do need to, for example, when we do our prayers, we make sure that it's our last prayer, right? We make sure that we understand what you are reciting. We make sure that when we pray, we know that from the talk just now about how we're communicating with Allah in Al-Fatiha, right? So all this is very important because we may not have the chance to not pray another prayer, right? Can you imagine, Mubin, if you know this Asar is your last prayer, what would you do?
Well, the thing that I think you said it many times is carry on the way you know.
Yeah, but what would you do?
Yeah.
We're khushu, right? Because you know it's your last prayer. You might die 1 hour after that. And this is how it is. We should lead a day as if we do not know when we're going to die. Yeah. Last questions? All clear? All prayers perfect after this, inshallah. How do you find the lessons, David?
It's very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, don't worry, we're very friendly.
I learned a lot.
Yeah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us in the straight path. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala improve our salah, accept all our salah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide our family members in the right path, those who are not guided. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow all of us to be forgiven our sins and shortcomings. Help sisters and brothers suffering in Palestine, in Yemen, in all the countries that are affected. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jannah firdaus. Subhanallahi anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair. We'll see each other next week, inshallah. Yeah. Was that?